Hi, Bruce Bissett here from avionicsEducation.com. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a YouTube video, and now I'm back here in my sound booth. So we're going to go and talk about some questions that came up from the public, especially having to deal with my old, the book that's no longer in print, and that would be the NCATT Worksheet book. Now, a lot of people want that worksheet book because they think they could use that to study for the written exam. And a couple things I need to point out here about that test and about the worksheet book. First and foremost, the worksheet book, I'm sorry, not the worksheet book, but the test itself, the NCATT test, these questions are unpublished, very similar to the way the FCC used to be years ago. And with that being unpublished, then obviously I don't have the answers or the questions to the test. So all I have are the subject areas. So what did I do? I created a worksheet book to help my students test their knowledge based on the lectures in the class and the reading in the textbook. Then they would answer the questions, which were actually test questions. So the reason why I originally wrote the worksheet book was because under the curriculum requirements for a community college, that I was required to create tests. So I just kept the material. I found out that my students had great success if they attended the lectures, if they read the textbook, and they answered the questions in the worksheet book, because you have to have in-depth knowledge of the subject for two big reasons. One big reason is because, like I said, nobody knows except for the people at ASTM what the actual questions are. And the second reason why you have to know the material is because of the way the questions are asked. Unlike the FAA test or the FCC test, it's a pretty straightforward question. So these are all kind of nuanced questions that make it very difficult for me in the course of a community college class to teach. So the worksheet book was really simple. It was a lot of questions, but it was a lot of questions that covered those basic materials. Remember, when you take the NCATT test, you're only going to get 70 questions over a possible pool of 1,400. I think it's 1,400 questions right now. So that's one issue that came up with the NCATT. Another issue that came up with the fact that I no longer have the worksheet book in publication, just simply because I didn't want it to be sold to the public, because that's what happened. People would buy the worksheet book, which was a supplement to my textbook, but then they wouldn't buy the textbook and then just try to study with the worksheet book. And then it's for the same problems I showed you before. They would get mad at me for failing because all the questions were not the same. That was why this certification test is so valuable. Even though we're asking technicians to have a deeper understanding than an A&P, but think about it. An A&P, when you get that, call it a license to learn or certificate, you're not ready to work on aircraft. It's the same thing with the NCATT. But the question is, on the NCATT knowledge tests, the people want you to have a deeper understanding or a different kind of mental mindset to be able to look at an electrical system on an aircraft and to kind of understand how this thing works based on the basics that you learned in the AET. And that's all the AET is, the Aircraft Electronics Technician Test. It is just the basics. And then we just take bigger bites of the basics when we talk about the certifications, the add-on ratings, dependent nav, autonomous nav, etc. So it's good news that the NCATT certificate, the FAA now recognizes the ability of a technician to pass it. If you're working for an airline or repair station, you don't have an A&P, the FAA now is accepting the certificate, the NCATT AET plus one of the add-on ratings for an issuance of a repairman certificate. So great. Don't forget to comment in the comment section below. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell notification and pass the word around these videos. Like I said, I want to be more proactive, and people come to ask me about avionics technicians or avionics training or avionics certification. Call me, write me, email me, talk to me. All right. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.